Good day, guys. So, I am Edward R. Torrefranca, a PhD in Development Education student. So, my task today is to discuss with you the part one of the organizational and management theories. So, the part two is in charge with Datu Faj Jaljalis. So, let's start. So, this particular topic is concerned about the following. So, the nature of organizational theory. Next is organizational theory. And the third is critical analysis of organization, theory, practice, revitalization. So, what is the nature of the organizational theory? So, what is an organization? To start with, so an organization is a group of people who work together under a division of labor and a hierarchy of authority in order to reach a common goal. For instance, like making money. Next is under the direction of someone else, people keep working together toward a goal. So that idea is called management. In this case of people who are well organized, things don't just happen. They are planned and run. So what does an organization do? Organization interact with the surroundings for exchanging information and feedback. So that is the concept of open system. Then what are the key elements of an organization? There are four key elements of an organization. One is the members. So they are the people make the organization. Next is the goal. This is the ultimate target of the members. Next is work division, dividing up all the work and giving it to different people based on their skills. And we have the process. So this is the standard operating procedures or SOP. So this is done in order to carry out any task. These key elements of an organization needs to be organization success requires that all four components be relatively stable at all times. So let us now define what is a theory. So it is an idea or set of ideas that is intended to provide an explanation for certain facts or events. It is also a set of facts, principles, or circumstances that is ideal or hypothetical in nature. And it also explains why certain events occur, such as happening in nature or a phenomenon. So, considering we have a theory a while ago, this time we are now on the defining what is an organizational theory. So it is a proposition or a set of proposition that tries to explain or predict how groups and individuals will act in different organizational arrangement and the process of gaining knowledge about how organizations work in order to forecast and control their effectiveness or productivity through design. Then what are the various organizational theories? There are four major contributing theories of organizations and management, namely the classical theory, the human relations theory, the contingency or decision theory, and the modern systems theory. So to start with the theory, so let's identify what is classical theory. This is the oldest theory of organization. So when Taylor and Fayol wrote about management, they came up with this idea, so the classical theory. This claims that the organization is thought of as a machine, and the people who work there are parts of that machine. And the attention is paid to organization and more than to the people who work there. So, what are the characteristics of classical theory? So, first is detecting and correcting mistakes after they happen is very important. It focuses on goals and tasks rather than the people who carry them out. Humans are taught to be a lot like each other and not very changeable. Consequently, workers in an organization are not separated based on the type of job they perform. So, employees are taught to be able to adapt to changes in their workplace, and it aims for maximum control. So, what are now the criticisms are leveled at classical theory? It disregards the human element, viewing people as moving parts in the organization's machine. It believes that money alone can provide people with a sense of fulfillment at work. This is a theory based on authoritarian principles. It is based on some rules that mostly based on what people have done and not on scientific research. And it does not consider how external factors can affect the organization and its members. So this idea is tell us that it is a closed system. So following the classical theory is the human relation theory. So what is human relation theory? Also called neoclassical theory. It has emerged from the famous Hawthorne experiments led by Mayo. The importance of human behavior in organization is emphasized. The action of an organization's employees have a direct impact on overall performance of the organization. Claim that an organization is a combination of formal and informal forms of organization. The informal structure of the organization is shaped by the formal structure because the way workers interact with each other. This emphasize social interaction and decision making. Due to um, possibility of conflict between the organization and its employees as a result of divergent interests, members of both groups must collaborate and communicate effectively. Creative conflict resolution is needed for the development of new ideas and stronger working relationship. And lastly, we have owners who want to take more employee-centric approach to management should learn soft skills. So, for instance, interpersonal communication, leadership, project management, and team management. So, what are the characteristics of human relation theory? The social environment of the job affects people and is also affected by the people. Organizational and individual goals must be linked together in order for them to achieve their main goal. Money is only one of the motivators, and it is not the only one. Okay? Unlike in the classical theory. So, two-way communication is essential for the smooth operation of the organization. And teamwork is essential for achieving great cooperation and higher productivity. So, what criticisms are leveled at human relation theory? It is not a novel organizational theory. It is simply a variation on classical theory. These theories, organizational structures are not appropriate in all situations. Other aspects of the organization we ignored or overlook as a result of the organization overemphasis on the human aspect. So the third is the contingency decision theory. So what is contingency decision theory? The emphasis is on the organizational structure, reliance on its surroundings. Organization, according to this theory, must respond to environmental changes rationally in order to sustainable and continue to flourish. So this claims that those organizations that have a structure that is best suited to the needs of their environment have the best chance of surviving. Continuing the decision theory or contingency theory, so it asserts that there is no universally applicable or best method of managing an organization. So in order for an organization to work well, it must not only be a good match for the environment, but also for each of its parts. And focus on two components, leadership style and situational favorableness. So what are the characteristics of contingency decision theory? Conflict should be regarded as a situation that can be dealt with. The way it measures management effectiveness is by how well management can adapt to changes in the environment. There is no one best way to go about things when it comes to doing them. Management decisions are situation dependent. So to continue, to be effective, management policies and practices must adapt to changing circumstances. Managers need to have and keep improving their diagnostic skills so that they can be ready for changes in the environment. For managers to deal with and stabilize changes, they should be able to communicate well with other people. And also, environmental changes necessitate the development of a communication system that can handle them. So what are the criticism leveled at contingency or decision theory? Lack of flexibility. The model's empirical support is weak because it relies on correlational results that is rarely statistically significant. When the outside environment is constantly changing, it can be very time consuming. And lastly, the model does not make it clear how it operates over time. So the last theory is modern systems theory. So what is modern systems theory? An organization is viewed as a system. The combination of ideas from classical models with those from the social and behavioral sciences. based on the idea that all of an organization's parts work together in a non-linear way. Making a small change in one variable can have a big effect on many others. So changes that are small can have a big effect on other variable, but changes that are big can have little to or to no effect at all on another variable. Another principle says that organizations are open systems that stay in balance as they change and adapt to changes in their environment at all the time, even though they are always changing. And they claim that an organization can change with changes in its environment, both inside and outside of the organization. So, what are the characteristics of the modern systems theory? It thinks of an organization as a whole with subsystem for managerial, technical, and social things in it. It also considers the individual to be multifaceted, being with variety of motivations. A multidisciplinary theory that incorporates concepts from sociology, psychology, and economics, as well as engineering and other fields. It looks at both the micro and the macro environment of the organization. The macro environment surrounds the whole organization, or it could be the external factor, while the micro environment surrounds each member of the organization. So, and that is the internal factor. It improves communication at all levels and make it easier to keep things in check. Organizations are open system, which means that their survival and growth depends on changes in their environment. This indicates that they are adaptive in nature, which means they can change with the environment. Unlike the classical theory, which is closed system, the organization employs these theories adopted open system. So which interacts with its environment on an consistent basis in order to survive and grow in the market. So being probabilistic, the result of action aren't certain and depend on how likely they are to happen. So what are the criticisms are leveled on modern systems theory? So we have it is not single theory of how things work, but a mix of different theories. And it is based on studies that have been done in the past and there's nothing new about it. So this time we will be focusing on the critical analysis of organization, theory, practice, revitalization. So before we proceed, so let us define or determine what is critic. According to Michael Foucault in 1926 to 1984, it is the virtuous attitude that challenges dominant knowledge. So it is also the critic. Critic is what contests all our truths, our certainties, our habits, and our practices. So following that is we have to determine what is an organizational analysis. So this determines if the organizational elements are strategically aligned with the organization's structure. So according to Van Tiem, it is an examination of the components of strategic plans. So this performance analysis stage analyzes the vision, mission, values, goals, strategies, and critical business issues. Continuing link, so we have to the organizational analysis. It also includes the examination of centrally controlled systems, corporate strategies, key policies, business values, and corporate culture. So, as mentioned, so let's identify what is vision. So, it is a long term view of its desired end state. So, what the organization wants to be. So, it is also the description of the core values and principles that makes the organization unique. So I have here example. So my example is the vision of our school that I am connected with. So the vision of our institution is the university has the vision to be recognized as number one local university of employable graduates. Following a vision is a mission. So what is a mission? The organization reasons of being, in effect, why it exists. The mission statement gives us a sense of where we're going and how we're going to get there. It looks at things like market needs, production capability, natural resources, regulatory action, technology, method of destruction, products, service we offer, and what people like. So the example would be, again, in my institution. So the reason and the sense of the mission of Quezon City University are to provide a comprehensive education that enhances the lives of QCU students for nation building as as the world citizens. So this time we will now focus on values. So what are values? The enduring core beliefs. Values envision compelling futures and deepen foresight. The intrinsic value for the organization need to make sense in terms of brand, marketing, and financial assessment. So example of values. So the university shared values of embracing new normal through jointness of undertakings and organizational adaptability with yoke of efficiency and effectiveness. Next to it is what is a goal. So it represents target for accomplishment. Must be aligned with organizational vision, mission, and values. Need to be clearly defined, relevant, understandable, realistic, and reflect the organization's culture dynamics. This follows the strategies. So, what are strategies? The organization's plan for growing the business. Strategies are needed to determine a market position, identify and nurture customers, complete in the global environment, focus on competitive advantage, achieve broad goals and objectives, and so on. So our institutions strategic direction are as follows: excellence in curricular innovation, faculty excellence, student excellence, excellence in research, excellence in community engagement, excellence in institutional governance, and excellent campus environment. So, what are now the critical issues? Critical issues are the problems or opportunities that determine an organization's success and may represent a gap in results that must be closed. These problems may affect the business in terms of success and failure. Example, increasing customer satisfaction and ultimately employee or customers retention, increasing market share, reducing or eliminating excessive waste, and so on. What is critical analysis of an organization? Organizational issues must be examined from various theoretical perspectives. The construction of an organization is required to investigate its potential for change and possible alternative ways of organizing. And people who do a critical analysis of organization that follow and interpret current social struggles in ever-changing and dynamic social fields can think about and change organization as well as critical social analysis and practice in general. So that is um, according to Casey when she published his book. So with that, thank you for watching. Have a nice day.